Hi, everybody. My name is Kate Egan, and I am going to be your biology instructor this semester. So, we're going to do a little introduction to the class on Friday when we get together, but I wanted to give you a visual orientation to the Canvas website because it's a little hard to navigate when we're in the class for everybody to see, and it's going to be super important that you know where to find all the information that you're going to need to find. So we are scheduled to have kind of the marathon biology day on Fridays. Some of you guys are going to be with me bright and early in the morning, just before 8 for a lab. And then we're all going to be together from 11:10 to, I believe, 2:20 for a 3-hour marathon Bio 100 extravaganza. And then the rest of you will go to lab after with another lab instructor, who I believe for you guys, the Shadarupa or Travis Vale. Either one of them, they're wonderful. I just can't remember who's doing what. So when you log on to Canvas, which you can access through my GWC or probably various other different ways to get there, I'll also give you the website on the syllabus that you can write down. But whenever you find Canvas, you're going to want to bookmark it because you're going to be going here a lot. So when you get into our course, this is the student view, so this should look just like what you see with the exception of this pink line at the bottom. There's our CRN 61153, and you can see that the class is organized. Here's a little welcome. Our syllabus is here. I'll show you in a second. This is a course orientation module which gets you to kind of navigate through Canvas, telling you what kinds of technological requirements you may have to abide by in order to see the Canvas site. I don't think Canvas is too optimized for phones, but I think it does pretty well on iPads and tablets and those sorts of devices. So if you'll direct your attention down here to this course content, so our class is divided into 16 modules, 16 weeks, one module per week, and in each of these modules there will be links to all the stuff you're going to need to know. Like, for example, we'll click here for week 1. They're not all visible because they come up, usually I make them available going into the weekend, so Friday I'll make the next week's content available for you. So this task list, I don't know that I have these for every unit, but I do for the beginning just to kind of get you oriented to what you're supposed to be doing. This is a biology class. This is a lot. There's a lot going on in biology. So we're going to be doing some work, and a lot of the work that you're going to be doing is going to be outside of the classroom, and it's going to be found here in Canvas. So for week 1, what you're supposed to do is review the course syllabus. We'll do that together in class on Friday. You're going to read the text. I'll discuss that again in a minute. You're going to review the lecture notes that you take in lecture, and you're also going to watch some downloaded videos that are embedded in our site. These videos are super important. They are not to be missed. There's a lot of content that we go over, and the videos are important for that. So I'll come back to those in a second. So those are your tasks lists. That's how it's kind of divided. I'm going to go back here to the course syllabus. You can navigate from either the left side or the right side. So here's our course syllabus. It's set up to kind of pop right up for you. There it is. I'm going to give you a paper copy of this, but if you lose it, here it is again. Here's my personal information, my email, my office address, my office hours. Here's our CRN. You've got to be enrolled in a lab in order to take the lecture, as you know. I believe, oops, I made a mistake. This is not the location of our class. I forgot to change that. That's my other class. Our class is going to be located in Math Science 118, I believe, the dungeon. I affectionately refer to that room as the dungeon. Okay, so continuing on, this required course materials for the first time. And I think I am the only one that's doing this in the biology department. I am trying out a free book. OpenStax is an organization funded largely by Bill and Melinda Gates, whose objective is to provide educational materials free of charge. So I've been kind of looking through some different texts, and I decided to go with this one for our Introduction to Biology Non-Majors Bio class. It's called Concepts of Biology. And, you know, it's not super robust. Like some of the pictures are okay. They're not like super great. Like this is the best picture I've ever seen, but it's free. Free is better than $125, I think. So you have a couple options, and I'll talk more about this, but one of the options is to go with a free book, which I will show you how you're going to access it in a minute. You can purchase for $4.99 the book on iBooks, which is optimized for your iPad. They don't have it for Kindle or Nook or any of those other things. So unfortunately it's just iPad. Or you can get it from Amazon for like $28 maybe, $28.99 or something along those lines. So lots of options. All of them are affordable. Free is probably the best. Some people don't like reading on a device. Like I don't know if you can see in where I'm sitting, all those books back there. Like I'm a book junkie. I buy textbooks for everything because I'm just a geek, unfortunately. So I like a paper book, but you know, I'm getting better at reading things online because they're oftentimes more affordable. So these are all your options. We'll talk more about them. You will need a lab manual. I sent that in my previous announcement. You should have it to bring to lab this week, because if not, you're going to have to recopy everything you write down on paper into your lab manual for next week. Everyone's going to need their own lab manual. They cannot be shared. They cannot be photocopied. They are to be purchased by each student. So that's in the $20 range, $25 maybe. So you're out $25 for the class for sure. But not an additional $125, which I think is good. Here's the information on Canvas. You can see this. The rest of the stuff we're going to talk about in class. There's our learning objectives, points, etc. We'll go through this. So that's your syllabus. If you lose it, there it is. The other thing, if you notice at the bottom of this page where it says date and details, when we start to have assignments and things are due, they're going to show up in here. So keep your eye on this as we go along. There isn't anything yet because we haven't done anything, but that's where those things will show up. Announcements, I send them. You've seen the few. So you're going to want to check for your announcements. Make sure you know where your announcements are coming to. They're generally coming to the email that you use to register for your classes. So make sure that you have that optimized. Like if class is going to get canceled, I'll send an announcement. If I forget to tell you something, I'll send an announcement. If we're going to have a test, I'll send an announcement to remind you. So you want to make sure you're getting those. If you're watching this video, you've probably gotten the announcements. So just make sure that you always watch out for those. All right, last thing, I'm going to come back to these modules. So again, here they are. They're going to only show up. We only have what's visible to you right now is week 1 and week 2. There's the task list. We talked about that. Then, you know what? Actually, I'm going to go to week 2. It's going to be a little bit more obvious because I want to talk about readings and media. So your course readings and your videos are going to be found in these folders. So here we have week number 2. Our topic is chemistry. So this is just a little introduction on chemistry from the text. These are the sections of the text and they're linked. So you just click, and believe me, this took me hours of work to get this for you, and I'm so excited about it. It's going to take a second, but it's going to show up. So each of those links are the links to the material that you are required to read. I will, in the lecture, live lecture when we're together, I will be talking about the stuff that you've read. It makes the most sense if you read it prior to coming to the class. And it's not like reading, you know, hundreds of thousands of pages. It's a little bit, you know, a couple, you know, you scroll down, the reading shouldn't take you all that long. So it's coming up here it is. So this was the first section. The chapter is chapter 2. If you were to download the whole book onto your iPad, you would be able to reference the chapter sections that you need to read. So this is chemistry. So you see, there's a little introduction. There's some atoms. We'll talk about those. Down here, there's our periodic table. I'm sure you've all seen that, hopefully somewhere. You know, and that you got the idea. There's some cool things that you can check out here to look at some simulations. And here's bonding. We're going to get into all this. Here, this is what I'm going for. At the end of your reading for each unit, there's some questions. So you can go through these and see, oh, do I understand what has talked about here? You know, which of these represents a weak chemical bond? You might say, oh, it's an ionic bond. B, you would not be correct, but they will tell you A is the answer. It's a hydrogen bond. So you get immediate gratification to see if you're getting the answers right or wrong. There's also some free response ones, which are great. And then at the end, there's glossary of all the new terms, of which there's zillions because it's science, and science introduces more new terms than a conversational language course. Isn't that crazy? So some of you might not be native English speakers, which is going to make it even more challenging because science has lots and lots of terms. So we'll be getting into that. All right, so there's your textbook. So all of it's linked for you. You don't even have to leave your house or leave your computer. You just press the link and there you have it. Then here's our videos. We got these videos. There's not always going to be this many. This is a big one because it's chemistry. So this guy, Paul Anderson, there he is. He does a good job. He does tons of biology videos. He teaches biology, AP biology in Montana, I believe, and also probably a college course. And now he's like a YouTube sensation, and he makes probably millions of dollars on science videos. I'm doing the wrong thing, apparently. However, he's done them. Sometimes I make my own videos, but since he's done a lot of them, and they're really quite good. I have just enough technological savvy to get myself into trouble, but he knows what he's doing. So you're going to want to watch these videos. You're going to want to take notes on the videos, not a lot. Oftentimes there's going to be an assignment either at the bottom of your reading and or at the bottom of your videos, which will be like a couple questions, multiple choice, just to see if you did it, and also to see if you're getting a handle on it. When you come to our lecture, I'm going to ask you questions. Like we're going to come in, you're going to get a clicker, and I'm going to ask you some questions based on the reading and the videos to see how much you understood, what do I need to spend more time talking about, but also just to kind of keep you honest, keep you engaged in the content. Sometimes we'll have actual quizzes in our lecture that will cover either the reading and or the videos. But I'll tell you about those before I'll say you're going to have a video quiz next week. Keep you on top of it. All right, so that's that. What else do we need to see here? So after you do all this, you can just click next, and that will take you to our lecture. So this is what we're going to go over week 2. You guys have the great pleasure of not having to divide me up into 2 different sections, 2 different weekly lectures. You get it all at once, 3 hours of biology on a Friday. You guys are glutton for punishment. But these are the files that you're going to want to look at. Sometimes I flip-flop them, like I might, not this week, but like sometimes I might do one before the other. But in most cases, they're going to be in order. So you can open these. These are PDFs. Sometimes they're PowerPoints. I know the students like PowerPoints, but not everybody can open PowerPoints. So a PDF is a universal file. So you would go ahead and just click on that, and it's going to download to your computer. And you just would be able to open it, and you can print it. You know, it's in a PDF format. You can print it. You can bring it to class if you want to. If you're going to do that, let me just show you. I'm sure you all know how to do this, but if you're going to print, you can print like this. And then if you want to have more than one slide on a page, set up to be 4 on a page, you can change it. You know, you can do 6, you can do 2, you can do whatever you want to do. So that's how you do that, and you can print it if you want to. So those are your files. So you have those to bring to class every week, and you can write on them. You can keep your notes on them. I think that's a great way to do it. And then sometimes we're going to have study guides posted in, like for example, for week 2, here's your study guide for basic chemistry. In our week 1, you got your study guide also. And at the end, I give you a little wrap up. All right, now you know all about chemistry, right? You should have an understanding. If you get to this point and you're like, I don't know anything about atomic structure, that's when you have to go back and review. Watch the Bozeman videos, you read the text, and then the next week, what do you have to look forward to? Okay, that's the story. And they're all set up like that. Everything that you need to know for biology is in these folders. Once you start to get things graded, you'll click on grades, and that's where this will be. We're not doing discussions, but the reason why it's here is there is a little folder for you to, like the student lounge is for like, hey, does anyone know where to buy the Scantrons? That kind of stuff. Course-related questions, you know, what's the soup in the cafeteria? Whatever. The course-related questions, that would be like, I have no idea what a neutron is. Anyone? And then if you happen to read that, which I think is it's great. I do answer these questions, but you know, usually check every day or every couple days to get in there. But if you see a question and you know an answer, or you feel like you know an answer, or even if you're a little shaky but you think you know, jump in and answer, because the best way to learn any subject, but especially biology or any kind of science, is to like really kind of get familiar and acquainted with the material and use your own words to explain something. So you want to do that if you can. So I would advise you to do that. Other than that, I think that will more or less cover it. Here's a little bit about me. And oh, down here, if you are having a problem with Canvas, you can, it's anything at all, click on this, send those guys an email. There'll probably be a phone number for you to call. Go ahead and ask the support. They're super helpful. They're really good at getting things. And if there's a problem, they usually will alert me too, so you will know. All right, you guys, I will see you on Friday. Looking forward to getting to know you a little bit. Okay, so that's it.